I'm Coach Carrie with Austin Fit Magazine, and today we're going to talk about open water swimming, both open water swimming in general and how it relates to triathlon swimming. So the first tip I want to talk about is practice. And I know it sounds obvious, but you can't say it enough. If you have access to an open body of water around you, I highly recommend getting in it and practicing in it with others, because the lanes of the pool line are great and you can learn a lot about mass starts in a pool, but nothing can beat actually swimming in an open body of water for being able to calm your nerves on race day. A couple of notes of safety. It isn't advisable, obviously, to swim in an open body of water by yourself, but if you do, please don't do it without some kind of personal flotation device. I highly recommend either this orange buoy that actually wraps around your waist, or there's a new product called the Swim It, which is a personal flotation device that you wear around your thigh and can actually deploy it if you find yourself in a panic situation. So you'll see that it seamlessly wraps around your thigh. You swim with it, you can't actually even feel it, but if you do get in a panic situation, you can pull the ripcord and deploy it, and a life jacket will inflate immediately. So it's either the day before the race or it's race morning and you're at the venue. It's very important to take a look at the swim course and know which direction you're heading, which side of the buoys that you need to swim on. Some swims actually allow you to swim on the inside of the buoys, which can get you away from a lot of the crowds. But make sure that you know, because a lot of times you actually have to swim then around the outside of the buoys on any major turns. So again, it's race morning. Take a look around, know the race course, see the buoys, and start to prepare where you're going to be lining up. Another important thing to do on race morning is a warm-up. And if you cannot get in the water, which I highly recommend, some races now are actually allowing you to get in the water, hop in, acclimate your body to the temperature, do some drills. If you can't, do some dynamic dry land stretches. Loosen up your arms, loosen up your core. It might even mean going for a jog. But what this does is that it raises your body temperature and then alleviates some of that fear and tension that you might be feeling prior to the race start. Tip number 3 is on sighting and how to line up. Now, you're able to line up wherever you want in a triathlon, but this usually means that a huge pack of swimmers are going to be right on the buoy line. So if you're prone to panic, simply line up behind the pack and then start a few seconds after the majority of your wave starts. This gives you plenty of space, plenty of time to breathe, and it also gets you out of that washing machine effect. Now, be aware that if the triathlon has multiple waves, there may be another wave coming behind you in a few minutes, but this will certainly help your start and get you off to a nice, relaxed swim. I also recommend that people start on the far end of the opposite side you breathe. So if you breathe to your right, line up on the far left side. This allows you to use other swimmers to sight from, and conversely, if you breathe to the left primarily, line up on the far right, away from most people. You'll get a good breath and a visual pack of the swimmers. Now you'll see Alissa breathes primarily to her right, so she's really just using the other 2 swimmers as her sighting. She's not lifting her head at all to look at the buoys, and she's given herself plenty of space in the process. Tip number 4 is sighting. Things get crazy in a triathlon swim, but my biggest piece of advice is to don't stop moving. If you need to catch your breath or take a break, try using the breaststroke, or even float on your back and do the backstroke for a while until you are ready. If you stop, it kills your momentum, people start to swim over you, and you have to work extra hard to tread water and stay afloat. So let's talk a little bit about sighting. In addition to using other sighters to swim, like we just talked about in tip number 3, you can also use your own sighting as well. When you're swimming, look for landmarks on the land that you can see when you breathe? Is there a house or a tree in the distance that lets you know you're still on course? Look for those so you don't have to constantly lift your head. When you do lift your head to sight, do so using what I call gator eyes, which means when you take a breath, scan your eyes over the water before putting your head back down. You're still swimming, you didn't lose momentum, but you also didn't lift your head totally out of the water. Open water swim tip number 5 is drafting, or as I like to call it, free speed. Now, birds do it when you see them flying in a beautiful formation, and NASCAR racers do it by staying right behind each other. You also see cyclists doing this in a peloton. Drafting during the swim in triathlon is legal and it can provide benefits, but it does take practice and patience. So there are 2 ways to anchor yourself in someone's draft. The first one is to get right on their feet and stay there. Yes, of course it's annoying when somebody's kicking your feet, but you're also going to be getting the benefits of free speed and swimming in their wake. So you can see they are right on each other's toes, almost touching them. And what you'll notice when you're in that formation is that it feels like you are not working at all. You are right in their slipstream. Of course, the front swimmer is doing all the work. The second way to draft is to swim on either side of the lead swimmer's hips. So again, much like birds in a formation, you want to anchor yourself as close to that lead swimmer's hip as possible. You're still getting the draft, you're still in their wake, and that swim should still feel pretty effortless for you if you're drafting properly. As a reminder, if you are prone to panic, just follow these steps. First, start in the back and let others start the race before you. Second, float on your back or do the breaststroke until you can calm yourself down. Third, swim to a kayaker or another water guardian official. You can hold on to the boat and not get disqualified, but the most important tip is practice. Practice math starts with your friends, practice drafting, practice sighting. It will all go a long way in making your triathlon experience a great one. I'm Coach Carrie with Austin Fit Magazine, and I want to thank my special guests today, the Executive Director of Colin's Hope, Alissa Magrum, and FOMO training extraordinaires, Joe Puskas and Alissa Leone. Thanks, guys.
But she doesn't.
Slide back.
Throw her the buoy.
Clear weight. I keep Austin fit.
Oh, that was fun.